What is up, everybody? It's Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool video back in Planet Coaster in Time City. Now, I know it's been a couple days since I actually streamed this episode, but again, being busy has been kind of, limiting of how often I can edit these videos. So that kind of sucks. Sometimes I get them up within the same day. Sometimes it just takes the next night, and sometimes I don't know. But anyways, here it is now, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And if you didn't see the time lapse, what we do here is pretty much work a little bit more extra on the hotel here, some more details, and I absolutely think if we keep doing this, that it will turn out to be a fantastic hotel eventually. It's still not where I want it to be, but eventually it's going to get there. And again, we're mostly going to be working more on the theming and just kind of the theming and story of our Gerstlauer multi-launch family coaster, which I'm very excited for because it's turning out to be really cool. I gotta figure out how to put some dinosaurs within the layout. Something that looks halfway decent. I might try some. There's a couple of workshop items that I might try out, but I just don't know yet. I would like to try and do something myself and see how that turns out. I'm not really good at creating my own, using art shapes very well to create different things, especially when it comes to creating creatures like that. So we'll see how where that ends up. But as of right now, I just don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with that. But that's gonna be part of the theming as well when we do get to that point. So I'm hoping maybe eventually, maybe we'll get some sort of Jurassic, expansion or something or not maybe expansion, but like DLC or something, with them, with Frontier doing the Jurassic World Evolution game, you never know that there could be a pack for Planet Coaster on the way too, that could be something in the future. And if that happens, we'll definitely come back to this area, especially if I finish this area and that comes out, we'll definitely come back to the area and kind of touch it up with the new stuff. If that ever happens, I don't know if that even will happen ever, but I think the possibilities out there, and I think it'd be kind of a nice DLC pack to obtain from Frontier, and I think that'd be pretty cool. So anyways, so what we're working on right now is we pretty much got the queue line kind of pathed out and kind of laid out a little bit. All that's left to really do on that is we got to heavily theme everything, over-theme everything, and we do kind of create a little path layout for the little bit of the entrance plaza for the ride. And we haven't even connected this to the entrance area of the park yet either, because we still have to make this monorail station for the Jurassic section here. So I'm very excited for this section of the park. It's going to be really fun, and it's already been very fun. And we still have to do a lot more to the station. I didn't really touch up on the station yet in this episode like I should have, and I'll probably touch up on it in the next episode. But this is going to be a fantastic addition to the park, and I think it's a really good first ride to work on for the park as well, because it's not going to have a whole lot of outdoor roller coasters, maybe a couple. I'm not entirely sure how many, but again, this is very heavily inspired to be like a Disney-ish kind of Universal style park, so you're not going to see a lot of big roller coasters outside. Most of you're gonna have some indoor rides, and just kind of focus on, this one's gonna be probably more focused on the family park, and there's gonna be some thrill rides, of course, but there's gonna be, a lot of family attractions within the park as well. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of family areas at the same time. So, but I'll definitely sprinkle in, of course, a lot of awesome thrill rides in the park as well. Mostly, probably in the Apocalypse section is going to be the most thrilling section of the park, and everything else is going to have a couple thrill rides maybe, but most of it might be more oriented towards families, and I like that. It's going to be. And that's what kind of the inspiration from Disney is that's a family park. There's not kiddie attractions. There's rides for everyone to enjoy. Everyone can ride the rides. That's kind of what it's all about. And that's kind of the cool thing about it. And I think this section where we're kind of staying put here is actually when I went to the Steam Workshop to look for some dinosaurs, but I didn't really care for any that I looked at, so I'm probably going to play some down. Might just be placeholders, but we'll see how that goes. And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff to do in this, and this is going to be quite a few episodes probably before we get this all kind of at least close to complete. So just kind of keep in mind we still have to work on the whole section of the park as well. So we're going to be placing a couple more rides and attractions and different things like that. I do want to kind of maybe include a couple theaters within the park as well through a couple different sections. Like maybe like here in the Jurassic section, we might have like a little outdoor theater or something like that. You know, that has, you know, some pretty neat shows or something. I don't know. That's, you know, themed to the park. Or this section, or themed to the section of the park. And one thing we're gonna definitely heavily focus on in the park as well is definitely perimeter fences for like the coasters and rides and stuff like that. So they definitely are gonna have perimeter fences where no guest is gonna be able to enter the perimeter, or employees without, you know, actual keys to get in and stuff. I've been thinking about trying to find some spots maybe to actually make it look like there's a fence that opens, like a door kind of fence section, and it's locked up or something like that. I don't know. But this is going to be the fenced off section for the launch house, for the first launch house anyways. And that is the launch house, as you can see, that we built in the last episode. We built that launch house, and we're working with different terrains here as well, which did kind of make things a little difficult, so I had to create a couple of slanted fences as well. I love that we got the chain link fence. I've been wanting the chain link fence for a long time now, and I'm glad that Frontier finally gave it to us. And I think it was the Studios pack, or I'm not sure if it was part of the free update or not, or if it was part of the DLC. Probably part of the DLC, I'm not entirely sure, but that is a great addition. And another thing that we're going to be working on as well, that I might even do in the next episode, is actually do some cool lighting effects on, you know, a lot of the parts as well. And I want to make a lot of really cool effects throughout the ride. And this is, of course, it's going to be heavily themed, and, you know, but it's still an outdoor coaster, so you can only do so much, but we're going to do as much as we can. And, you know, if most of it is foliage, that's, you know, still a really good, you know, I still think that's good scenery to have around theming wise. You know, there's going to be lots of loads of theming throughout the queue line as well, so that's going to be kind of neat. We're using custom fences as well. As you can see, this is what I've worked on in this section right here. We're actually working on custom fences for the queue line, and I want everything to look very unique and different. You know, I don't want everything to look the same. Like, you know, each queue line is going to have different fences, each queue line is going to have different theming, and, you know, the path system is going to look as different as possible. That's my goal, is that, you know, the queue lines don't all have the same fencing. You know, there might be a couple, but for the most part, the fences on each queue line is meant to look unique to that ride and different things like that. That's why I love to do, like, custom fencing. Custom fencing just turns out so nice because you get something different from what you're usually seeing from Planet Coaster, and it kind of separates it, you know, to make it look more realistic in a way. Because, you know, if you look at a lot of Planet Coaster stuff, you'll know what those fences look like, and that you know, in-game path system fences, and that's not what I want. I want something nice and custom, and something, you know, that looks different from everything else, you know. So we're gonna have some nice unique switchbacks, and you know, it's gonna look fantastic. You know, there's gonna be a lot to do here, and I almost forgot the priority pass at the end, and I just remembered it and got it in there. So the priority pass is in, and I did have to do this awkward little slant to the left at the end, but I think it'll be all right. In the end, it will look good. So this queue line is decently long, but I didn't make it super long. I've made longer ones before. I don't think this coaster is going to need as long as a queue line as, you know, some of my major thrill rides. You know, it's going to have a decently long line, but this thing is going to get that capacity through. Like, there's not going to... my goal, I don't think there's going to be too much of a line for this coaster, even if, you know, it is going to have a high excitement rating and stuff, because it's, you know, has 4 trains of 28, and it's going to have high capacity. So that's the good thing about it. We have to have high capacity rides for this park, because I can already tell you that there's going to be a lot of guests coming to this park when it opens up. So even my first test, before I even had any rides in the park open, I still got quite a few guests coming into the park, which is actually insane, which is cool. So this is the next part that I was working on. I'm not completely satisfied with this section just yet, and this is going to be like this wooden structure for the brake run right up here, this blocks section right up here, and this is meant to be kind of like a ruined wooden structure that was kind of maybe built by some survivors of the Jurassic area, you know, and it's kind of being destroyed by the dinosaurs or something. That's kind of like the idea. We're gonna have a couple of I decided to try and put in a couple of particle effects within it, and it's going to be decorated a little bit more to have maybe a couple more wooden planks around that are just kind of hanging off and there, you know. it will be really neat. We don't finish it in the episode, but we do get, you know, kind of the basic idea and shape of it. It's just gonna, it's there for aesthetic reasons, and it's just going to look nice, and it's gonna provide a nice little, hopefully a nice little head chopper element for this next launch section. So this is the second launch of the ride, and it's a continuous launch. So this is not going to be a launch that stops. The first launch, I don't believe I have it. I think I have it set to where I think it stops if the trains are moving, because it's got to wait till the next block is clear, so it does stop for a second. This will be a continuous launch because it is not a block section. The block section is actually above it on that brake run. So that's gonna kind of be where that is. I don't know if I'm gonna keep the smoke in here or not. It's kind of interesting, and it was just an idea that I had, and I want to put some particle effects somewhere in the ride, and you know, just to add some added theming. And we're gonna add a couple different things to this structure and see how it turns out. So. Still working on a storyline. I think I got most of it. I mean, there's not much of a storyline to it, but there is. And, you know, it's kind of like a basic storyline that, you know, it's still within the time, you know, kind of theme to it. So you're in time. This is the coaster, kind of like the first one you get to, where you're kind of discovering that you're in the Jurassic timeline right now. So, and you're in the Jurassic timeline, and you're pretty much running from your life from these dinosaurs and everything. That's pretty much the storyline to this, is that you are a time traveler that is trying to figure out where you're at, and you kind of figure out, you know, you are in a place where there are dinosaurs, and you're like, well, I went back in time, because the way the time machine works is it's still kind of a little janky, and you can't figure out exactly where you're going in time except for present day. So you can set it to go to present day, but everywhere else it kind of gives you a general spot. You know, I want to go in between this year and this year, kind of, and it'll kind of take you to a random spot. It's still being tweaked. You know, you're there to help out with the time machine and tweaking it up a little bit more. So it still has some tweaks to be worked out within it. So it's it will be a cool little thing, and that's you know, that's about it for the coaster sort of storyline. That's still, it's gonna have a couple more details hopefully, but that's kind of like what we're looking at right now. And I kind of wanted to fill up a couple of the empty spaces here, because, you know, there's a lot of empty spaces within the park still that need to be filled up, whether with buildings or with foliage and trees and different things like that. And we're going to try and start filling those up as well towards the front of the area and everywhere that is there. So we got a lot of stuff to do in the parking lot still. The entrance area still has some detailing to do. But, and we're going to be working more on this coaster. And I can't wait, to at least get one of the first sections, to get this section done. And, just to have a nice section of the park done, at least. And that way we can get to, more exciting sections. Like, I'm probably looking most forward to, like, the Apocalypse section the most. I think that's the one I'm most excited for, because I'm going to have some really cool rides within that section of the park. We're going to have the Tower of Terror style kind of ride there, which is going to be neat. It's going to be in like this destroyed building, which will be cool. It might be a zombie apocalypse or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, that's about it for this episode. As you can see, we do a little detailing to the giant clock tower weenie, and hopefully that will turn out the way I'm hoping. There's still a lot to do. But anyways, make sure you guys have a great day, even cooler tomorrow. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe for more amazing content like this. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thanks so much, and goodbye.